Sanko chase the love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chase the love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come. Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come. Sanko, you better run. Sanko, police are come. Sanko, you better run. Sanko, police are come. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. Come out to 14 and into 15 and make a presence so. Come out to 14 and into 15 and make a presence so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. I make money down and a man hold me hand and I make a presence so. I make money down and a man hold me hand and I make a presence so. Stupid Gary, left shit mommy, go marry, go one gold ring, stupid gold ring, stupid lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. This make a present, I make a present, this make a present so. This make a present, I make a present, this make a present so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your presence so. He make a present, she make a present, you make a present so. He make a present, she make a present, you make a present more. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your present so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, will make your present so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, present so. Stupid Gary, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money never, money never, money never, money never, money never, money. Now know what you conniving. Money, money never, money never, money never, money never, money never, money. You can keep you conniving money. When you been a corrupt in a bills every morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. Then you had your pocket full in a bills every morning. Now because your money done.
This is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins Firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins Firm.
Right, about now, I live in Guyana, right, about now, like, I am in Guyana no more. I think I will go, and get me visa, and I go fly out, and I go to Mormis, and I go relax myself, because I am in Guyana no more. I am in Guyana, I gotta go Mormis. I fly now, go Mormis, things cheap there.
Pressure, boss pipe.
Hello, you wonderful folks. Concerned Guyanese abroad, residing overseas in New York here and also internationally. It's a grand rally, as I say, rally, starting tomorrow at Leopards and Little Guyana Squares, down up Liberty Avenue to Civils, ending at Arya Samaj Ground, Saturday, November the 5th at 11 a.m. Come to support the candidate of your choice, Michael Henry, Attorney General candidate. He will be accompanied by three amazing.
All right, hey, guess what? Good evening and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benshop. I know it's a new time, and we have adjusted our schedule to ensure all of you guys are happy. All of you guys can get with the program. I've noticed Dr. David Hines has adjusted his program. We have done so. We do this every time there's an adjustment, change of time, because it is 8 minutes after 9 o'clock in Guyana. And we oftentimes we repeat this every year that we start 9 o'clock Guyana time. And we want to ensure then that we keep that persistent in that, and we keep that time slot. And I'm just saying this to say that we ensure that here on 107.1 FM, we don't conflict others' time. We ensure that we get the message out and we don't race each other like a rat race. So who's it that, is it Bob Marley, I think? Oh, what a rat race. Anyways, good evening. I'm not a singer. That's why I sit here as a talk show host, right? Hey, Lily, Olivia, good evening. How are you? And all the folks, I believe Lily is out in Maryland. Good evening to you and all the folks out there in Maryland. Wayne Caesar, good evening to you as well. And we say hi, Deborah Sharona. Sounds like Corona, as in Corona Bear. But good evening to all of you guys. Sorry, I haven't had that in a long time. maybe after tomorrow's midterm elections, maybe I'll just have a Corona beer. I don't know. I just don't know. But good evening to all of you. Hope you are preparing to head out and vote the right way so that you can get the sort of betterment that we want in society. Now, I played this particular guy for a reason. His name is Anand. And I want to say good evening. People are saying, not we, people are saying they caught Anand, also known as Cabbage. That's his name. People in Queens know him as Cabbage. Poor Cabbage. They put Cabbage up to make this announcement. And I'm not even sure whether they paid Cabbage or not. We saw and we knew that Cabbage was struggling to read what was on. And I'm not laughing at Brother Cabbage. Anand, known as Cabbage. Good evening to you, Cabbage. But you can give me a call. People are saying that they promised you something, a bag of tennis roll, Polori, and I'm not sure whether you got it or not. But they shouldn't use you like this, put you to announce something that you're totally unaware of. You don't know what the event is about, and then you can't find them for your bag of tennis roll and your Cabbage, assuming that that is correct. Assuming that that is correct, Cabbage. So if you see this guy in Queens, tell him that I'm advocating for him so that he can get his bag of tennis roll, bag of Polori, whatever it is. His name is Anand, also known as Cabbage. Here it is.
Hello, you wonderful folks. Concerned Guyanese abroad, residing overseas in New York here and also internationally. It's a grand rally, as I say, rally, starting tomorrow at Leopards and Little Guyana Squares, down up Liberty Avenue to Sybil's, ending at Ari Samaj Ground, Saturday, November the 5th at 11 a.m. Come to support the candidate of your choice, Michael Henry, attorney.
All right, that's done with. Cabbage is out. Cabbage is out. Ben Sharp is in, and good evening. It's 12 minutes after 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's 12 minutes after 9 o'clock in Guyana. And all you beautiful folks out in Guyana, those who are listening to us, good evening to all of you. The folks out in the quarantine, Alnis Village, Philippi, Blackbush Pola, Cromarty, Epsom, Wim Village, Bloomfield, all over, Port Morant. Good evening to all of you. And even the folks in New Amsterdam and other places, West Coast, Berbice, Georgetown, all of you. East Coast, Demerara, Linden, Lethem, Ituni, Kokwani. Good evening to all you folks. And even those of you who are outside of Guyana, New York, Connecticut, Maryland, wherever you are, the folks in Canada, the folks in the United Kingdom, they're usually up. DJ Terry, good evening, good morning to you. It's actually morning. Good morning to DJ Terry and all of the other folks who are actually up and are listening to this program in the UK. You know, the wonderful people in the UK, the wonderful ones, mind you. All right, look, I noticed some of you guys are actually on the side of Cabbage. Cabbage needs to be paid. But let's get to another individuals because, well, individuals, sorry. These guys have no power. And sometimes I think we give them too much attention. But I couldn't allow this to slip me, especially knowing that the Attorney General candidate, the Attorney General candidate, actually called Rickford Burke a criminal. But he is standing next to individuals who were caught up in the precinct, restraining order issued against them, assaulting women, and all manner of things, pension fraudster, what do you call it, Section 8, I believe, Section 8, alleged fraudsters, all these manner of things. Listen to this guy, Vishnu Mahadeo. Let's listen to him.
Let her know you cannot make statement about a foreign government when you're just a local elected official. She wants to stabilize and totally elected government. That is unfair for her. Rickford Burke cannot be a consultant for her because he is ill-informed, he's always biased and jaundiced. We need to stand up.
That's a guy, Vishnu Mahadir. Vishnu Mahadir, we're told, either the 103, 106 precinct or something like that, restraining order against him, assaulting a woman. And these are the allegations, mind you, allegations of, what is it? It's pension fraud. Allegations, mind you, allegations. Someone on TikTok actually identified him and saying that, look, this guy is allegedly part of some pension fraud. Section 8. I don't know what is happening. And these are the guys that are actually standing there with those guys, Michael Henry and others, talking about Letitia James, and Letitia James should apologize and all manner of things. Listen to him again before we continue with our program. Not Cabbage, but this guy, Vishnu Mahadir.
Need to let her know you cannot make statement about a foreign government when you're just a local elected official. She wants to stabilize and totally elected government. That is unfair for her. Rickford Burke cannot be a consultant for her because he is ill-informed, he's always biased and jaundiced. We need to stand up and let her know it is unacceptable. She needs to issue a press release before Tuesday to let us know where she stands on this issue that she was defaming the guy in the government. With that, I thank you again very much.
All right, enough of those guys. Tomorrow's elections. I hope you've gotten and voted already for the early vote. And tomorrow, bright and early, the polling stations are going to be open. Go out and vote smart. Letitia James is on the road of being re-elected. She is ahead by about 12 or 13 points. And once you guys go out there and vote, you know that Letitia James will be re-elected. In terms of the governor's race, it seems to be very tight. The first time in about 20-something years when they had George Pataki, who was elected, a Republican elected. There hasn't been one since then for 20-something years. And so the race is actually very tight at this point in time. Zillidan, I believe, is the opponent for the current governor. And so if you want to ensure then that there's a hat trick, and a hat trick meaning you have in New York City, Senator Chuck Schumer, there's a little known guy running up against him, a Republican guy by the name of Paul whatever. And then you have, Chuck Schumer has been there for a while, but I'm not sure that this guy is giving him any challenge. And then you have the governor who's getting a challenge, actually. So we'll see how that race turns out. Tomorrow night is going to be very, very hot in a sense of the results. I do hope that she is given that mandate to govern the state, the governor, that is. But what I am almost certain is that Letitia James will be re-elected, despite what that guy out in Guyana is saying. Freddie Kissoon was bold enough to write in his article, big headline, Letitia James will lose tomorrow. That's according to Freddie Kissoon. We want to be able to laugh in his face, mind you. And I say this, move away from that guy, because we have far better things to talk about. Let's talk about the Commission of Inquiry today. And another witness appeared. And this is, before we get to that witness, I noticed that there's a story about Gail Teixeira. Not the fact that Rickford Burke has sued her for about $500 million. Burke is suing a lot of people. Burke is probably going to be the richest guy. So if you know Burke, just give him a call and tell him, tap your phones up, do something, pay off your mortgage, do something. He's going to be filthy rich. So many people he has already sued. And so he has sued Gail Teixeira now. This time, Gail Teixeira has got a lawsuit against her. And this is what Gail Teixeira is actually saying. It's not funny, but these people are something else. This is what Gail Teixeira is actually saying. Gail Teixeira is saying that she worries APNU AFC is becoming irrelevant. Now, what's the relevance in this? Forbes Meadows, good evening to you, sir. Samantha Boyce and all you guys, tell me, please, someone tell me. I want to read some of your comments this evening. June Chase and others, all of you guys. Tell me, what is the relevance of this? Gail Teixeira is saying that APNU AFC, she is worried. She is concerned. I don't know, marijuana bill, they're going to adjust that to about 30 grams, right? I don't know. It seems to be having an effect already. Now, let's get back to Gail Teixeira, mind you. She is saying that she is worried about APNU AFC becoming irrelevant. Why should she be worried about the APNU AFC becoming irrelevant? You know, she should be worried about rigged elections. She should be worried about the fact that the PPP is in office under questionable circumstances. She should be worried about the massive level of corruption in the PPP. She should be worried about Guyana becoming, and fastly so, becoming again a narco state. She should be worried about the fact that Guyana is now being described as a mini apartheid state under the PPP regime. She should be worried about the fact that the PPP is afraid of the 2 election petitions that are lingering in the courts. She should be worried that every time we seem to be going somewhere with the elections petition, that the PPP stops it, that the PPP does everything to prevent the election petitions from being heard. Those are the things that she should be worried about. She should be worried about the massive level of corruption, from the cash grant to all manner of corruption in the PPP. She should be worried that cost of living is high under the PPP regime. She should be worried about the fact that we get constant blackouts in Guyana, electrical failure in Guyana for 5 hours, for 6 hours, and all manner of things. She should be worried that government vehicles are knocking people down on the road, killing them, and all manner of things. Those are the things that she should be worried about. She should be worried about that there's no democracy in Parliament, of which she is some parliamentary, whatever it is. Those are things that she should be worried about. She should be worried about Guyana's image is failing. It's going downstream. She should be worried about the fact that hundreds, probably thousands of persons of African descent are getting their lands taken away from them. Those are the things she should be worried about. Don't tell us that you, Gail Teixeira, that you are worried about APNU AFC becoming irrelevant. Gail Teixeira, you have been irrelevant for years now, but yet you still pop your head out, trying to gain some relevance, trying to say that, hey guys, I'm still around. I am here. You know, you are irrelevant. And so for you to want, I pass with these people, right? I want to tell you guys of the APNU AFC supporters, tell you guys that your party, and of course, you know, I am a sympathizer of the coalition. So by extension, I am included. I don't think that the coalition is irrelevant. I don't think that the APNU AFC is irrelevant. Now they have problems. Like any other political parties. The PPP has serious problems too. They have serious in-house fighting. They're battling each other every day for positions. Every single day they're battling. The only reason why we're not hearing about it publicly is because they know that all of them, their hands are in the cookie jar. And so they don't want to lose the little sweet that they're having. So they're going to battle internally. Had they been out of office, the battle would have been publicly. Mark my word on that. So with the coalition has issues. They need to sort those issues out from the leadership level. They need to iron out their differences from the leadership level. And then it will get down parliamentarians, supporters, officials and executives of the PNC and the AFC and the other, I don't have any paper around, but the other parties that are formed part of the coalition. They need to get their differences Put it aside. So for me, why are we even talking? Why are we even talking about Gail Teixeira? I don't know. Why are we even talking about her? Oh, sorry. Why are we even talking about Gail's smoking? These people are ridiculous, man. These people want to tell us what to do, how to act, how to walk and whine. They want to tell us how to bubble, how we must dance, how we must backball, how we must eat, how we must fold the hands, how we must celebrate, how we must do all manner of things, how we must do. All these things they want to tell us, you know? What is wrong with these people? Teixeira worries APNU AFC becoming irrelevant. APNU AFC folks know that Gail Teixeira is irrelevant. Move on, man. Oh gosh, I guess I'm not a smoker. I'm not. I've taken probably a couple of years ago a puff of a cigarette or whatever. I'm not a smoker. I've never tried any sort of substance, no marijuana, no nothing. And I know when I say substance and marijuana in the same breath, some Rastamen out there will say, bonfire, blazing fire, marijuana. We'll get into marijuana shortly. But let me read some other stuff for you that I'm seeing that, laughable. Laughable indeed. Sorry about that. We're getting to another matter here that I wanted to read to you guys concerning the... Good. I got it here now. Foreign observers were cursed at, told to get out of Guyana. Elections inquiry hears. Now, if we are looking for evidence, present evidence. Isn't that what we want? Evidence. Siobhan McDonald and others. Dara Darlington. Isn't that what we want? Evidence? We don't want to hear foreign observers curse that they were told to get out of Guyana. What's the relevance in that? And this is a guy, Jonathan Yearwood. And Jonathan Yearwood got his issues too, because I believe he put his hand on a woman and, he got his issues too. So he carried this he says, she said thing, in my opinion, that bears no value, has no value in the elections petition. But he has this love affair with Carol Joseph. I think it's Carol Smith Joseph. She mouth hot too, so, and Jonathan's Yearwood mouth hot too. Jonathan could abuse, Don't think he dead on here. He's not no saint. And so he gone to the Elections Commission, trying to paint Carol Joseph. Like I said, Carol Mountain down here. But we're sticking with this particular issue. Talking about Carol Joseph now, saying to the foreign observers, get the F out and this out, and Carol perform and so forth and so on. She performed to she party because I'm sure she saw the rigging. I am almost certain that she saw the rigging and she couldn't take it. But then you get guys like Jonathan Yearwood pretending to be saints, pretending to be saints and pretending as though they're fighting for democracy and all of these things. So he gone now to the Commission of Inquiry, this so-called Commission of Inquiry, defending the foreign observers and the diplomats. And what the diplomats walking into the chairman's office for? What are they walking into Claudette's office for? In fact, what are they doing at the Guyana Elections Commission's office and all these different things? In other parts of the world, they would not be accepted. In fact, they can't do that in Russia. They can't do that in China. They can't do that in certain other parts of the world. But it is acceptable for them to do that in Guyana. But what is that from an evidential nature? What is the relevance of that at the Commission of Inquiry that, what's her name? Carol Joseph said this and Carol Joseph. Let's stick with the evidence, Yearwood. and that she said she gonna, what is it? Specifically, Yearwood said Smith Joseph told attorney Pauline Chase from the Guyana Bar Association that she would stomp on her face. No, I'm not saying that that is right. I'm not saying that that is accurate. I don't know. But just like that, wait a minute. Carol Joseph has got to be a mad woman. That just like that, she looked at all these people and started abusing them, according to Yearwood. Just like that. Looked at this woman who's part of the Guyana, so-called Guyana Bar Association. Now, let me say this. The Guyana Bar Association is just basically a rum shop association. It's a barbecue association. It's not a legal entity. They do not represent lawyers in Guyana. And so I just want to make that clear. So Chase now, who is a PPP, I suppose, right? Chase now, just like that, Carol Joseph is going to look at Chase and threaten to stamp on her face. Just to dry. Carol gotta be a mad woman to do something like that. I don't know Carol that well. I think I met her maybe once or twice. But she seems reasonably sane. But she's got to be anybody who look at all these people, cuss them out, chase them out, stamp on them, threaten to spit on them, all manner. Look, something is wrong here with what Yearwood is doing. And he's going there. These chaps are going there at the Commission of Inquiry to paint APNU AFC supporters and officials and leaders as violent people. Look at what they're doing. I'm not going to accept this here. Absolutely not. Like I said, Carol Joseph, mouth hot. But when she's standing up for herself, and Yearwood mouth hotter too, because you never see Yearwood put on he done and start abuse. But let's continue here now. According to Yearwood at this Commission of Inquiry, all sort of he says, she says story we're going to hear now. And that is what hundreds of millions of dollars, your tax-paying dollars, are being spent on. Now let's continue here. This is what, according to Yearwood, Jonathan Yearwood, who is an ANOG. Well, ANOG is really a definition of a mouth disease. So I could understand why they're in ANOG, right? According to Yearwood, Smith Joseph told attorney Pauline Chase from the Guyana Barbecue Association that she would stamp on her face. I can stamp in your face. Just a dry, right? According to Jonathan Yearwood here again, Carol Smith Joseph told Kit Nascimento from the PPP Control Private Sector Commission that she would spit in his face. I want you guys to get the picture as to what is happening here at the Commission of Inquiry. And according to Jonathan Yearwood, he took all of that. Allison Richards, we're getting there. Good evening to you, Allison. We're getting there. Allison wants me to show the video evidence of when they had this stampede at the, and we will show it. Allison, we will get there. Good evening to you, and good evening to all of you. Now, let's get back to this here. According to what they're saying, Carol Smith Joseph jumped out of somewhere. She wants to spit in Kit Nascimento's face. According to Yearwood there, look at my facial expression. Just so dry, she wants to spit in Nascimento. And many of you, those of you who know Kit Nascimento, you all would know that Kit ain't easy with his mouth. And I cannot believe that just so dry, as we say in Guyana, just so dry, Claudette, sorry, oh gosh, Claudette. Claudette, you know you're there on my mind, right? So now, Carol Joseph, just so dry, she looked at Kit Nascimento and threatened to spit in his face. Just so dry, she looked at Pauline Chase and threatened to stamp on shit. Just so dry, she looked at Jonathan Yearwood and want to beat he up. Just so dry, she looked at the foreign observers and cussed them out. Just so dry, she looked at the diplomats and cussed them out. Now, something, mean by in that, I'm telling you guys, I'm not saying then that she may not have uttered some of these things. I don't know. But what I'm saying is it's not adding up. It's just not adding up. So you go to a commission of inquiry to talk hearsay. And those are judges, former judges, chancellor, former chancellor of the judiciary, former chief justice, and so forth. They're sitting there and allowing these hearsay that have absolutely those things that have no relevance in the commission of inquiry where they're looking for evidence. You know, where they're looking for evidence. What's the relevance of this? He said, she said. He said, she said. Oh, Carl Smith Joseph. Carl Smith Joseph should talk about what Yearwood did to her, because I think they had an issue there. She should talk about that. Now, I'm looking at the report, the testimony by Yearwood. I don't know why his name is Yearwood. Anyways. Okay, sorry about that. Got a little out of the way sometimes. I looked at what Yearwood said, and nothing is of value other than, look, here's what he said here. Here is what he said here. Yearwood recalled that on March 4, 2020, at about 1800 hours, the tabulation process was moving smoothly. That's according to him. The tabulation process wasn't moving smoothly. But I'll continue. Moving smoothly, but was paused when the two GCOM staffers, one visibly pregnant, complained of being hungry and tired. Oh, Father Jehovah. That was allowed, but things never returned to normalcy. Hours later, party agents and observers were told that the tabulation process would be stopped, but loud objections resulted in a commitment that the process will continue. But first, one of the almost 100 deputy returning officers, DRO, would have to be kind of Jim Ramwood. Now let's hear what Yearwood is talking about. Keith Lowenfield, now the then chief elections officer, an honorable man, mind you. Honorable indeed. Hazel King is asking, and I'll get to Hazeline King's questions shortly. Good evening to you, Miss King. Just after, okay, Yearwood said, is where he said, she said. Yearwood said, this body, Yearwood, even Yearwood, Yearstem said, this body said this body said that. That is what this thing become. It is a farce. The commission of inquiry is a farce. Now let's get back to he said, she said. Yearwood said no. Let's go. You guys repeat it after me. Yearwood said no. Right? That is what this thing about. A mockery. Yearwood said no. Keith Lowenfield. Yearwood said, Keith Lowenfield, as chief elections officer, at the time, committed to finding two Guyana Elections Commission staffers to continue the process, which is what Mr. Lowenfield rightfully probably did. Just after midnight, Lowenfield returned hope to the system. Yeah. Among the two persons Lowenfield brought was Enrique Levan, who was accused previously of attempting to change figures. Okay, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? This guy, Jonathan Ear, is not an elections expert. He's just there as one of the guys representing a small, tiny party. And so to have this, he said, she said, we got annoyed because earlier everything was going okay, and now we are getting large amounts of mistakes, Yearwood recall. Of course, you will get mistakes, Mr. Yearwood. And now I know Jonathan Yearwood. I know Jonathan. Not because he's talking nonsense here now, trash here now, that when I see him, I wouldn't probably have a Banks beer with him. You know, this is above his pay grade. But Mr. Yearwood, Jonathan Yearwood is just standing in front of the commission, he said, she said story. And this is what the commission is all about. But what Jonathan Yearwood should have armed himself with was real facts. Now, these are the facts. 61 dead voters, 4,864 absent voters, 150 stuffed ballot boxes, 47 ballot boxes without documents, 1,278 missing oaths of identity, Mr. Yearwood. When you go, actually walk with your computer, have what is called put together something on your a spreadsheet or whatever, so that you could present these things properly and you could show real evidence, Mr. Yearwood. To go and just talk and in showing nothing doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And that is why I hope that the opposition, here's where I'll bring in the opposition, I hope they're doing something that is would be able to counter, not just to sit and chit chat and call it elections COI watch. No, we need to upgrade this COI watch to talk about real things, real evidence, and make sure then that you poke the PPP back in their faces with this sort of things. You need that. Thank you, George Barker, USB storage and all these different things. Bilal Mohammed, salam alaikum to you, brother, is saying that the COI is a laughing stock. You are correct. Hazeline King, you are correct also. Hazeline King is saying, look, that she was so confused listening to what Mr. Yearwood was saying. Now, what Mr. Yearwood was saying was of no relevance. He has something personal against Carol Smith Joseph, sorry. And he just, is this bitterness he has against the woman? I have nothing else to say about that character, but it is what it is, and that is what we're paying hundreds of millions of dollars for. Again, I repeat, hundreds of millions of dollars we're paying for that. And hundreds of millions of dollars we are paying for that. I'm looking at some stuff that I want to share with you guys. And good evening to all of you who have now joined us. I'm looking for something to share with you guys, not about Claudette. I may deal with that particular issue in Claudette tomorrow, because Claudette Singh actually said she was afraid that they wanted to murder her, to kill her during the course of the elections, 2020 elections. Claudette Singh was so afraid that they kill her that every night we spoke so that information can be gathered and she would be protected. Every single night. Claudette Singh was aware as to her talking to me that assured her some level of safety. And so she felt comfortable relaying to me, what was happening on the ground as it pertains to her security and that people who want to kill her. She named a particular quote unquote businessman who wanted her dead. And these are not things that I'm making up. These are not things that I'm just out of the blue I'm speaking of to say that, because I want to get at Claudette Singh. Claudette Singh was talking to me because she wanted to ensure that she was safe. That is why there are times when Claudette Singh called me on numerous occasions, 5, 6, 7 times a day, whether via video chat, whatever it is, 5, 6 times a day. And I certainly would appreciate that at some point in time that at some point in time that Claudette would come straight out and speak the truth instead of running around, beating around the bush and saying that that the voice is not hers. Everybody knows that it's Claudette's voice. I could play the tape right now and let you guys hear the businessman that she accused of wanting to kill her. Should I play that tape now? I'm going to look at some of your comments. Should I play that tape now? And you'll hear Claudette Singh complaining about the fact that for many years she never got promotion and any sort of things when she was expecting to be the Chief Justice and all these manner of things. And then she did say, she did name the businessman who wanted, according to her, kill her, who wanted to kill her, who wanted to kill her. Now I'm looking at your comments, and this is not a mockery, and this is not a joke or anything. It is a sad situation there in Guyana, where you have the commission, the chairman of the Elections Commission was afraid for her life. She reported to me, I reported to whomever, every piece of evidence. And so she can't jump and say that I am lying. Because everything that I'm talking about now were placed in the hands of other individuals. At that point in time, I thought that it was important to ensure that no one hurt her. Absolutely. And neither am I saying that anyone should hurt her now either. But the fact that she felt comfortable talking to me, knowing very well that her reasoning behind talking to me was that it gets out to others that she was unsafe at that point in time and that a particular businessman wanted her dead. She named that businessman. And the fact that she revealed who paid Mercury on behalf of the PPP. Now, these are not things I'm going to sit and make up. And let me see what you guys are saying as it pertains to the tape, whether now is the right time to play the tape where she actually revealed the businessman who she thought at that time wanted her dead, to kill her. It's Claudette Singh's voice. All these tapes, all these different things, and it's not your voice? Everything is not your voice, Claudette? I don't know. Let me see how many of you guys believe or think that the tape should be played now. The one that has to do with the businessman who she claimed wanted her dead. I'm looking at most of you saying that it should be played now. All right, we'll take a quick break and I'll make a decision whether it should be played now or not. I will make that decision as to whether that tape should be played now or it should be played later. We'll be right back.
Mr. Watts, he is armed himself. Shots, watch it, tear gas. Live rounds, also I can see that.
Just for Quendon!
The man is a boxer, man. I like him putting the boxer, man, to do that. But since my cousin there, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? You come to the East Coast.
You listen to me now.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to
you. Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If you didn't do a protest, you want to see nobody for justice. I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family. I get visitors all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you all have visitors. This is Joker. Who is that Joker? That piece of plum. They know who they did it, you know.
Right? Here. So here. I got you all back. I just clean the spoiler. I know a guy now. Seriously, somebody got to carry fire.
Don't change the thing, will you?
Look who's here.
You alright?
Right there with you all. You don't know. Come towards the light. Let us see. I got all y'all under my heights. One love, right? One love. They don't know how far we go. They don't know this. One love.
All right, welcome back to Straight Up. I've looked at all of your comments. A lot of you are saying plate, 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 plate. It's got to be more to this here, and it's got to lead towards the resignation of Claudette Singh, because no one actually, the majority of people have no confidence in her, none whatsoever. And I'll just play. You guys want to play the part where she named a businessman who wanted her dead. I repeat, she named a businessman who wanted her dead. But we'll play this here, and then we'll decide whether to play the other one where she named a businessman who wanted her dead. Claudette Singh is going to continue to say that it's not her voice. I know it's her voice. Others who have copies, and I'm talking about individuals of relevant agencies in the United States who have copies of these recordings and other evidence. So I have absolutely nothing to worry about. People who are familiar with Claudette Singh know that it is Claudette Singh's voice. And at any point in time, I'm ready to take publicly a lie detector test. I hope Claudette Singh is prepared for that as well. And so let's get into one part of another tape. Some of you heard this already, but we'll replay it this evening.
PPP did to me. I'm only doing my work. I just tell her from now, say, y'all put me in this work. I didn't want this work. Y'all beg me to take it. Me, I don't need money marked from anybody. I got two this, I got a lot of land, so what am I going to do with it? I don't need anything from anybody. Why are you going to join these people? That is not my voice. Because I didn't want Ben in the room. We just got to do the Zoom from the boardroom. And I told him that, but he was not there. He called him. But that is not my voice. That is not my voice. I'm copying some voice cut or something. That's not my voice. I wouldn't speak to Alvin like that. He's got to stamp your authority. I told him that I don't want Ben in that room. He gets on too stupid. But the room, Ben always shouting on people. It's the boardroom. And I had other people there. It's not this one. They always come there to look at the court hearing. Me, my lawyers be there. Dr. Farr, my wealth advisor, and other staff is be there. So I don't know what they're talking about. I really don't know. The IT man got to be there because he operates it. So I don't know what they're talking about. I just think people get annoyed because of the letter I wrote, but I'm just only doing my job. I have no interest in anything. So that is it. I can't do anything more.
Yeah.
That's what the court said to do. Because I said to write, but I can't write the letter dated the 16th because that was spent. Because that was, you remember, he intercepted that with an annex with the court. And the court said no, that that Court of Appeal decision was overturned. And the other thing too, his report also is thrown out. Because his report was based on the Court of Appeal.
So he now has to come up with his report.
He has to come out with whatever is his report, with he has to come out with that. And the court, the Court of Appeal never interpreted valid votes. That was a big lacuna in it. And this court interpreted valid votes. As the valid votes, we know in ROPA that only valid votes are counted. They use 87 in the ROPA to say that those votes are rejected votes and spoiled votes. Those are not counted. So those are the only tainted. And they say if something else is wrong with any vote, you have any other problems, you use the election petition. Only a court can determine. And they say once votes are counted, you cannot disenfranchise anybody. And what the CEO did was unilateral and unlawful, and the Court of Appeal let him to do that. Those are harsh words for you to use on, a functionary.
Well, I think somebody said something about the observation report, which is all part of the gazetted order for the recount.
The observation report, we cannot deal with it. The observation report gotta go to the court. When the court would look at the evidence, the court got to get evidence. I cannot call functionaries, like for example, you would have to get somebody from the immigration. They would have to come with all the ED cards, etc. That these people did go out. You may get something from the passport office and all of that showing their passport numbers. This is what the people got a very good case. And in the CCJ repeated after me what I said, that some of these issues are very serious, but I cannot deal with them.
I know, but what's the sense?
Order 60 cannot amend the Constitution. Order 60 was put there. When we say the final credible count, it means the recount would be the final credible count. So people just want to interpret that to suit themselves. So I cannot take away the exclusive jurisdiction of the court. You cannot do that.
So why didn't they go to the elections petition with the first 10 declarations if that was the issue then? Well, what's the whole purpose of a recount and the observation reports are not going to be taken into law?
The recount was to get the count because we had a problem in relation to the Region 4. I had given an undertaking in the court just to do over Region 4 in case the day when Mingo, they said Mingo, Anila had a contempt motion against Mingo. And he involved me and Lowenfield. And I give the undertaking, look, allow him to go through with his figures. If and when there is a discrepancy between his figure and whatever they have, stop. Make a note of it and let him continue. And at the end, you try to address them. If they're not addressed, at the end, I'll facilitate. That is the 84-2 recount. That is the one I think just do it that. But then the president came up. That was the 13th. I gave that undertaking. The 14th, he came up with this, national recount. And the people came in the night. And then afterwards, when somebody filed something, the people left. That was it. And so we were left after the court finished. They said he can conduct, so we continue with it. That was it. So wherever, I don't know where we're going, but wherever they go, they go.
So what if he submits a report that he feels is in keeping with 96?
Well, whatever he does, he does.
All right, so we just stopped it at that. You guys heard what's happening. You guys heard what was happening then. And that's basically, it's just basically what it is. It's just basically what it is. I'm going to look at some of your comments. This, in any other part of the world, Claudette Singh would have been asked to resign. Again, Claudette Singh would have been asked to resign. I'm not bothered about her threats behind closed doors, and I'm just saying what it is all about. And I am seeing here somebody saying that Granger sold out. I'm not sure that there's any evidence of that. I understand how you guys feel about this whole situation, and rightly so. I'm not here to defend anybody, and this is my opinion. I think the time has come now for Mr. David Granger, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and I'm being all honest with you guys. We need to hear from him about what happened during the course of the elections. We need answers, Mr. Granger. We need for you to talk to us. Some might say it's a bit too late, but you've got to say something. You've got to speak up. You've been silent for too long. The time is now to say something. What transpired? Because thousands of people are feeling the squeeze right now. Thousands of people are of the view that you could have done something different. People need to hear from you, Mr. David Granger, President David Granger. People do need to hear from you. I know through your programs you talk about trees and water and these sort of things. People want to hear about the elections. That's all I wish to say at this point in time. People want to hear about the elections, and people want to hear from you, President David Arthur Granger, about the elections. A lot I want to talk about the elections. A lot of misinformation out there concerning whether Mike Pompeo got to you, concerning whether Claudette Singh actually told you to be prepared to be sworn in as President of the Cooperative Republic. These are questions need to be answered. And we want to hear directly from President David Granger about these things. The people are hurt. The people are still wounded. They're feeling the squeeze. The people are indeed hurt about the elections, the outcome of the elections, because it's now in the hands of some vagabonds, some criminals, some crooks at every level. And so it's sad to see what is happening in the country. And it's also sad to see that people who don't care about us are pretending as though they're fighting for democracy, pretending as though they are standing up. I've heard one guy said that democracy was returned to Guyana and that Trump restored democracy in Guyana. What democracy Trump restored? You know, all of these things, every single day we see it, we hear it. We see the injustices, we see the discrimination, and we can't speak up about these things. We're being called all manner of names for speaking up. We're being boxed in by the PPP regime. We must not allow ourselves to be boxed in by these individuals. All manner of things they do. They threaten us. But they should know by now that's like throwing water and ducks back for me. I'm not moved by that. But I've said it all for now. I've said it all for now. I want to say more concerning the 2020, March 2nd, 2020 general and regional elections. And deep down in my heart, I'm saying this to you, all of the listeners, that the PPP has rigged the elections. They have evidence. Please, I have some of those evidence in my possession. Of course, there was this premature results, February 29th, issued by the PPP, and then they quickly removed it. Maybe you guys need to see that piece of evidence again to understand what took place. You need to hear about some of the folks who came through Brazil. One guy from India, another guy by the name of, who claimed that he is connected to Mike Pompeo, another guy who wants to open a airport out in Linden. And if you go to Linden now and you check out Rusal area, Lindeners can't even go there. It's kind of like Guyana has become a plantation again. All of our oil, billions of dollars, and no one man to be blamed. The leaders. The PPP right now is selling out Guyana. We've got a bad deal. All around, we've got a bad deal. Billions of dollars of oil. And look at what our public servants are receiving. Look at what our teachers are receiving. Look at how people are living in Guyana. We can't even get proper electricity. Food items are high. All manner of things. And those who have gotten rich overnight are enjoying the benefit. If you look at Guyana right now, you won't even believe in that it's Guyana. It's back. It is what you call modern day plantation, where the ordinary folks are in the plantation and they're getting the crumbs. And everybody's coming out from all parts of the world, buying out the big houses, buying up lands, driving around in fancy vehicles and all manner of things, traveling back and forth twice and 3 times per week with tax-paying dollars, flying in and out of the country. And you have to pay that. Who is standing up for the people? I'm not going to air the voice recording of Claudette Singh, who said that a particular businessman wanted her dead. Today happens to be Monday. I may play it tomorrow, but I promise you guys that it will be played sometime during this week. I want to put other stuff out there first. The opposition seem not to care about this. They seem to be comfortable with Claudette Singh there. They haven't uttered a word about what is taking place with these evidence. The only thing that we hear from the opposition is that Claudette Singh must go. You can't just sit and say Claudette Singh must go and expect her to go. I'm told that every Tuesday they have a get-together. Some call it a protest, but I'll call it a get-together in front of GCOM's office. Get together with the brothers and sisters out there tomorrow and call for the resignation of Claudette Singh. Call for the bloated voters list to be addressed. Call for those things. I hope tomorrow that I will see lawyers who were protesting their colleague, the ill treatment of their colleague, and rightly so. That lawyer should never have been treated in that manner. And had that lawyer been of any other ethnicity, she would not have been treated like that. The fact that she is what she is, of African descent, led that so-called policeman to disrespect her like that. But for all those lawyers who were out there the other day protesting on her behalf, if I were in Guyana, I would have joined them. But I want them to join the protest with other forms of injustices also. I've got to go for now. I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, right here on 107.1 FM. Right here. Go out and vote tomorrow. Give Letitia James that second term in office. And I noticed that our operator put this up. This is a lot of conversations. You see lots of missed calls and so forth. You see here, Claudette Singh. This is Claudette Singh, and I'm not afraid to say this is Claudette Singh. Yeah, this is Claudette Singh. This is Claudette Singh saying here that she heard that our boy was treated by Carpen at Woodlands today. He has the virus. Me now responding to her. So I heard, not sure how accurate it is. And then I said, sorry, I missed your call. Was doing homework with my little boy. Homework with my little boy. Homework with my little boy. You saw the missed calls and the missed video calls and all manner of things. And I knew exactly when to take the call and when not to take the call. But when you see me dealing with my kids, it's a different story. Do not interrupt me, even if it's the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, and there will be results of the elections, the midterm elections over here. God bless you guys. Have a good night, and watch out for the snakes. Lots of snakes. God bless Guyana.
Right? Here. So here. You left me out. I got you all back. I just played the spoiler. I know guy now.
Seriously,
Somebody got to catch fire.
Don't change the thing with you.
Look at who's here.
You alright?
Right there with you all. You don't know. Come turn us the light. Let us see. I got all y'all under my heights. One love, right?
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington law firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.